Welcome to AzureDirect.com, your place to start with an Azure proof of concept that will be the foundation of your foray into the cloud. Here at Azure Direct, we start your cloud journey with a small foundational experience that you can test and develop into your ultimate goal. We start small and introduce you to proof of concepts that will work across different industries. We look forward to taking a measured approach and achieving your goal to evolve and take advantage of the latest technologies available.
Let's go do that later. All right, so let's go ahead and create a resource. We're going to click on the Create Resource tab, and we're going to get into this. And what we want to do is type in networking, okay? And then we're going to see virtual network. We're going to go ahead and do that. So we can click here, or we can go down to networking down here, right? If I clicked on networking, this is the virtual network. And click on the virtual network first. Okay, perfect. All right, so this is the first step in deploying your Windows Data Center Server 2019, 2016, whatever you're doing. This is your very first step. We need to create a actual virtual network and create access to the actual network, right? And we also need to create some rules about allowing people in or out of the network, and we need to provide some IP addresses that we know we can use down the road, right? All right, so in here, every one of the options that we're talking about are going to have a wizard. And it's very simple, and basically it scrolls from left to right. So we'll always start on the basics on the first one tab, then you'll go next right, and then the very last one is going to be what's called a review and create button. And what that does, it reviews all the data that you put in here, all the different selections that you put in here, and it basically says, yeah, you did it right. And then you'll get an option to create. Okay, so you can do that, or sometimes it allows you just review and create from very beginning if you want to make it just a very basic deployment. Okay, so that's the flow of every one of these wizards that you're going to be going through. So it makes it really easy. With that being said, I'm going to pause here to see if anyone has any questions about the wizard. All right, so let's go ahead. And let's start here. So we have the basics. Okay, so our subscription, we already have it in there. I want you to do the drop-down arrow, and we've already created a resource group for you. So go ahead and click on AZ Manager. Okay, that's going to be your resource group. And then we're actually going to need to give it a name, right? And we're going to need to, let's see if it's going to allow me to go back and forth. It's not. Okay. So what we want to do here is we're going to name it Demo Lab VNet1. Okay, and you want to make sure that you're whenever you're naming anything, name it something that you're going to remember. Okay, and on the bottom hand, this is actually really important. Depending on where you are in the world or in the States, you have to be really careful. The further away you are physically from the data center that you're selecting, the larger the cost. Okay, so for example, if you're in Phoenix or Tucson, or in the West Coast, you really want to use US West or US West 2. That's what you want to do. But for purposes of this lab, we're just going to leave it alone as US East. Okay, and then we're going to go to next IP addresses. Okay, so in here, what we want to do is we're going to get rid of the current one. Okay, and then we're going to actually put in 10.2.0.0/24. Okay, perfect. And if you do it correctly, you're going to get a checkbox. Okay, if you don't do it correctly, they're going to tell you didn't do it correctly. Then we need to go ahead and add a subnet to this, right? And we're going to give the subnet name. What is the name we're going to give it to? Demo Lab Subnet. That's right. So Demo Lab Subnet. Okay, and then the range here will be 10.2.0.0/. As you see, it's telling me, right? But now I have the green check mark here. The other day I had a brain fart. I had fat fingered something, and my gosh, I was going back and forth like, what is wrong, right? And it kept giving me all the reds. So that's good. Service endpoints, we're going to leave that as 0, and we're going to go ahead and push add. And then what we want to do is click on that. That is our subnet. Next, we're going to click on security. Okay, so in this case, we're going to leave it as basic. We're going to disable the firewall. We're not going to enable a firewall just for the moment. Now, DDoS protection does come basic for all, platform as a service as well as infrastructure as a service, configurations. However, if you have a heavily trafficked website that has a lot of end user customers coming to it, some sort of like for example, GoDaddy, right? Or just any, everyone's going there, right? You want to actually add the standard, which is the much higher end DDoS protection that's available for you. So we're going to leave this just the way it is. And then we're going to go to tags. So we're not going to actually get into tags specifically right now, but this is a best practice. I think you should always have tags to the different things you're working on so you can easily search them. You can easily tag things. I mean, if you have like an availability set and you have a tag to it, we can reference that tag, not just inside the Azure environment, but also inside the command shell. So, but we're not going to get into that one right here. Then we're going to go to review and create. And as you can see up here, it says running final, right? And then it has validation passed. Super awesome, right? So now we know that our IP address is great, our subnet's good, and we scroll down here, security's done, firewall, and then we go ahead and create this resource. Okay.
Welcome to AzureDirect.com, your place to start with an Azure proof of concept that will be the foundation of your foray into the cloud. Here at Azure Direct, we start your cloud journey with a small foundational experience that you can test and develop into your ultimate goal. We start small and introduce you to proof of concepts that will work across different industries. We look forward to taking a measured approach and achieving your goal to evolve and take advantage of the latest technologies available.